Will AI take your job? It's a question that's been showing up more and more over the past couple of years. Every new week, there's a new headline about AI replacing customer service workers, generating art that used to require human designers, writing articles, and helping programmers code. People see these stories and naturally wonder if their job is next. The problem is that nobody actually knows what's going to happen. Past technological shifts usually affected manual labor or repetitive tasks. For example, factory automation replaced assembly line workers and software replaced filing clerks. However, AI is different because it's starting to handle cognitive work. Tasks that people assumed would always require human judgment are now, at least partially, being handled by machines. I'm talking about things like writing, analysis, research, and drafting documents. These aren't just some simple mechanical things, they're tasks that require understanding context, making decisions, and applying knowledge. And the fact that AI can do some of this work, even imperfectly, is making a lot of people nervous about what the job market is going to look like in 5 or 10 years. And here's what makes it harder to predict. Unlike previous technological changes, this one is happening really fast. Companies are adopting AI tools at a pace that doesn't give much time to workers and industries to adjust. So the usual pattern where old jobs disappear and new jobs emerge over time might not play out the same way. We might be in a period where the transition happens faster than people can retrain or change careers. To connect this to my personal life, I'm graduating next year and I'm planning to go to law school. So for me, this isn't just a vague question anymore. This is something I'm thinking about as I look at what legal work is going to look like by the time I start practicing. And what I've noticed is that the industry is already changing in ways that are making people uncomfortable. Traditionally, if you wanted to become a lawyer, you needed to go to law school, get an internship or a job as a junior associate, and spend your first few years doing things like document review, legal research, and drafting basic memos. That work wasn't anything special, but it was how you learned. You'd spend time going through contracts, summarizing case law, and preparing materials for senior lawyers. It was basically the training grounds. But now AI tools are being introduced that can handle a lot of these tasks. Document review, contract analysis, legal research, all of that can be done way faster by software than by a person sorting through hundreds of pages manually. Some firms are already using AI to summarize discovery documents or to generate first drafts of legal briefs. And that raises a big question, especially for me and other people that are looking to get into legal work. If AI is handling all the work that junior lawyers used to do, how do people starting out actually get trained? And then there's the controversy of AI being used in actual legal arguments. There have been multiple reported cases now of lawyers using AI to generate documents and the AI just making stuff up. It cited cases that didn't exist and it referenced fake legal precedents. And because the lawyers didn't verify the outputs, they ended up in front of judges trying to explain why their filings included fake citations. Most of these lawyers got sanctioned for it. So the legal field is in a very weird position. On one hand, AI speeds up a lot of the work, but on the other, it makes very bad mistakes. It completely hallucinates information very confidently, which makes it very dangerous if you trust it blindly. And that is creating uncertainty about how the work is going to adapt. Do firms hire fewer people and rely more on AI? Or do they hire the same amount of people but expect them to supervise AI tools? Nobody has a clear answer yet. However, despite all the concern that jobs are disappearing, there's one thing that's becoming very clear. AI is really good at certain tasks, but it cannot operate without human oversight. It can generate text, analyze data, and produce outputs faster than any human ever could. But it also makes mistakes that a human usually wouldn't. The main problem is that AI doesn't understand information the way people do. It recognizes patterns in data and generates responses based on probability. That works well a lot of the time, but it also means that the system can create information that sounds correct, but it's completely wrong. And it will do that with the same amount of confidence as when it's correct. There's no self-awareness, no ability to just say, I'm not sure about this. It outputs whatever fits the pattern best. Because of that, most industries are moving towards a model where the AI is just a tool to use, but humans have the final word. It's becoming a research assistant or a drafting tool, something that speeds up work, but still requires someone to check the output and make final decisions. In law, that means a lawyer can use AI to summarize a case or pull relevant statutes, but they still have to read through it and verify it before using it in court. The same thing is happening in other fields as well. Journalists use AI to generate article drafts, but editors still review and rewrite them. Designers use AI to create mockups, but they still refine and adjust the final product. Programmers use AI to code, but they still test and debug it. And that suggests the future may not just be AI replacing everyone. It might be more like every professional now works with AI as a standard part of their job, the same way that computers and the internet became standard tools in the past. You don't get hired as a lawyer or a writer or a designer without knowing how to use the technology that's available. And if AI becomes that embedded, the question shifts from, will it take my job, to, do I know how to use it well enough to stay competitive? The truth is, we're in the middle of a major economic transition, and it's hard to predict how exactly it will play out. History shows that every time a new technology disrupts the job market, some jobs disappear and new ones eventually emerge. The Industrial Revolution ended certain types of manual labor but created factory jobs. Computers got rid of typing pools but created brand new industries around software and IT. The internet eliminated some retail jobs but created digital marketing, e-commerce, and content creation. So it's possible that AI will follow the same pattern. Some jobs will go away, but new categories of work will appear that we can't even fully anticipate yet. The thing about this transition is that it's happening faster than the previous ones. It took decades for society to adjust to computers, and in some places that's still ongoing. AI is being adopted at a much quicker pace, and that doesn't leave much time for workers to retrain or for new industries to develop. What seems likely is that there will still need to be people to manage AI systems. Someone has to verify outputs, make decisions when the AI gets it wrong, or take responsibility when things go really bad. AI can assist with a lot of tasks, but it cannot be held accountable. If a lawyer submits a brief with fake citations, the lawyer gets sanctioned, not the AI. If a company makes a decision based on faulty AI analysis, it's the executive's fault, not the algorithms. That accountability gap means that humans are not going away anytime soon. But the job market is definitely changing, and that makes people like me who are about to enter it pretty uncertain. I don't know if law firms are going to hire fewer junior associates because the AI knows how to do their work. And I don't know if the skills I'm learning right now will still be relevant in 10 years. But I don't think anyone really knows because we're all figuring this out in real time. The question isn't really, will AI take your job anymore? It's more like, how do we adapt to working with AI before the next big shift happens? Because the technology is already here, it's being used, and it's changing how work gets done. The people who figure out how to use it effectively will probably have an advantage over people who will try to ignore it. But that doesn't mean the transition is going to be smooth, or that everyone will end up better off. If you're thinking about this too, or if you're in a field where AI is already changing things, let me know in the comments down below. And also, subscribe to my channel. I'm curious about what other people are seeing. Thank you for watching. See you next week.